gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. As the Mae Young Classic continues on the WWE Network, we have the quarterfinal and the semifinal review. Basically, I'm just going to run down the matches. I'm going to rank them in the order of how good and or bad I thought they were, and kind of talk a little bit about them. So number 6 was a quarterfinal matchup. Candice LeRae versus Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler getting a victory by submission over Candice LeRae. Sad to see Candice LeRae go home. Shayna Baszler, and like she even said in one of the vignettes, she's just a badass. She's part of the 4 Horsewomen for MMA UFC with Ronda Rousey. So Ronda Rousey and the girls being there the whole week, the whole time in the tournament so far, at least during her matches. And then really just, not just showing her, but talking it up. Oh, that's Ronda Rousey. Oh, that's so-and-so with her. Oh, they're the 4 Horsewomen of the UFC. And having the backstage segment with Charlotte and the 4 Horsewomen of NXT. There's no way they're all not signed or coming soon. Shayna Baszler getting a victory, moving on. 3-star match. The way these matches kind of ran, it seemed like it ran down. The quarterfinal was basically 3 through 6, and the top 2 were the semifinal matches. So number 5, from the quarterfinals, we had Kairi Sane versus Dakota Kai. A great international matchup here. It was very short. It just didn't seem like they had a lot of chemistry. Kairi Sane getting a victory in a 3-star match. Number 4 was Toni Storm versus Piper Niven. Toni Storm, kind of that underdog to her. Piper Niven, bigger, more powerful. Toni Storm getting the victory in a 3 1/4 star match. Number 3 from quarterfinals was Abby Laith versus Mercedes Martinez. Abby Laith has been this more underdog, I can beat everyone bigger and more powerful for me. David versus Goliath, basically, her being David and everybody else being Goliath. Well, when you look at this matchup, Abby Laith versus Mercedes Martinez, it's the same difference. It's David versus Goliath, the 16-year veteran who has worked so hard to get to this moment. Thankfully, it was done right. Mercedes Martinez moved on. Abby Laith is okay, don't get me wrong, but I'd rather see somebody like a Mercedes Martinez move on in a tournament like this versus an Abby Laith. I gave it 3 1/4 star. It was a great match. Mercedes Martinez, I hope a lot from her. So the final 2 matchups both come from the semifinals. We have a matchup of Shayna Baszler versus Mercedes Martinez, and we have Kairi Sane versus Toni Storm. The second best matchup of the week, second best matchup of the semifinals, of only 2, Shayna Baszler versus Mercedes Martinez. Shayna Baszler getting the victory over Mercedes Martinez by submission. I gave it 3 1/2 star. I'm hoping we see more from Mercedes Martinez. I'm hoping it wasn't just like Kota Ibushi in the Cruiserweight Classic where he gets this far and goes back to Japan. We never hear from him in NXT or WWE again. I'm hoping Mercedes Martinez is going to be on the roster, either NXT or the main roster. We get her in. She can be that badass, same way with Shayna Baszler. I'm hoping this is legit. I'm hoping she's, going to be on the roster. I'm hoping they bring Ronda Rousey in, these other girls from UFC. I'm hoping they realize, there is a place to be a badass. That you can choke people out and do the submission things, but not really get your face fucking handed to you like you do in UFC. So, a lot of talent there. Both ladies will go far, but Shayna Baszler moving on to the Mae Young Classic Finals, September 12th in Las Vegas. And her opponent will be Toni Storm or Kairi Sane. Well, good matchup. Kairi Sane getting a victory in a 3 1/2 star match. Classic match. So that sets up our finals. Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler, Vegas, September 12th. The winner will be the first ever winner of the Mae Young Classic. Again, I hope WWE does this right. I hope they create, like they did with 205 Live, basically NXT Women's Show and NXT Men's Show. So on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock NXT Men, at 8 o'clock NXT Women, at 9 o'clock the UK show, whenever the hell they get the UK show on the network. You have 3 hours of Raw on Monday. You have 2 hours of SmackDown and an hour of 205 Live on Tuesday. Have 3 hours on the network on Wednesday. Bam. You own professional wrestling already. Let's just make it bigger. And for those of you who check out, like to read and stuff, check out the NXT book I checked it out at Barnes & Noble. I'm not a reader myself, but I was intrigued about it. I started reading it. It was really intriguing listening to Tripp about how he got NXT started and how he kind of changed from a full-time performer into the corporate side of it. And so, yeah, it talks about him meeting with Vince and Vince asking him, sending him with all these, marketing director and this and this and this, and him learning the business side. And going, okay, we got all this covered. We're the worldwide wrestling entertainment. Where's the future at? Where's our developmental at? FCW was nothing really. And Tripp on it, kind of taking over, wanting to do the NXT, wanting to do this kind of stuff, and put it together and worked hard on it and presented it to Vince and got Vince's okay, and we keep growing. We've had NXT, we've had all these takeovers that have been phenomenal. We've had the Cruiserweight Classic last year that was phenomenal, which I think they should do every year. We have the Mae Young Classic that's been phenomenal so far. What's next? Come on, Tripp. What's next for us? We're going to have a tag team? Oh, that'd be badass. We're going to have, what else are you going to do? I mean, we get the UK. That's awesome. Let's get that going. So here's what WWE should do. For the United Kingdom division, whatever you want to call it, United Kingdom,